Hello, principals. I wanted to make a quick video for us since I did not have a chance to talk to you guys very much on Saturday, and there are a few things that we need to make sure everyone is clear on. I'm going to make my screen bigger. Here are the things that we're going to go over really quickly. This should not take very long at all, just a few minutes, I hope. Our Wednesday meetings, what else is on the calendar up for September, walkthroughs, TABE, and then we'll close up with STEP. We'll spend most of our time on the STEP plan since that's coming up pretty quickly. Here are our upcoming Wednesday meetings. We have STEP meetings starting tomorrow. Today is September 12th when I'm making this video. So on September 13th, we have a STEP meeting. October 4th, a STEP meeting. October 25th, a STEP meeting. That's you guys running that with your sites, so you guys can get that done by the deadline. Typically, over the last couple of years, one of these two meetings, either on one of these 2 days, October 11 or 18, they eventually turn into a STEP meeting. That might be the case this year. It depends on what your needs are, and we could certainly do that. Something else to kind of keep in mind, next Wednesday, September 20th, that's a school site meeting. That's the meeting that for sure, if your teachers haven't done it by then, by September 20, is that you guys, we're hoping you can help them tier their students. Their students being tiered on September 20 or by the end of the day, September 20, will make our training on September 22nd go smoothly. Because if the teachers aren't tiered, then they're not going to be able to work. I'm sorry, if the students aren't tiered, then the teachers are not going to be able to work on their RTI plans on Friday, and we're looking at giving them some time on that Friday to do so. So it's really important that if your teachers have not tiered their kids by next Wednesday, that you guys take that time during that Wednesday meeting to take care of it then. Some other things that are coming up. Of course, we just finished our Principal Saturday meeting. This coming Friday and Saturday, there are a few teachers coming in to finalize the second semester for the new secondary science class that we have for the middle and high school kids. You should already know if you have a teacher coming in. Not all of you have a teacher coming in, but there are probably four. I think there are four teachers coming in. So if you will already know if that is happening. Of course, next Friday, which is what I was just talking about, September 22nd is the in-service follow-up. September 27th, these are all Wednesdays. That's coming up. October 22, 23, 24 is the principal conference. You should be getting some information about that very quickly. Maybe you already have by the time you see this video. And actually, I think the dates here might be a little bit off. Patty White told me yesterday that this is a Sunday, Monday thing, and that's it. It's just Sunday, Monday. So if the 24th is a Tuesday, which it looks like it is, it will not be on the 24th. It's just 22nd and 23rd. And then the new teacher follow-up, we're going to bring the new teachers into town on October 26th and 27th. So that's what's coming up for the next few months. September events, just to make sure we're totally clear, tomorrow is your STEP planning. Tier 3 progress monitoring, hopefully, on Friday. The new science committee is meeting on Friday and Saturday. We've just talked about that. This on the 20th is where you would work with your staff to tier your students, and then that in turn will allow us to work with the teachers on the 22nd. So it's really important that that happens. 27th is another Wednesday meeting. Those are two meetings happening at the same time. Rachel will do one and I will do one. And then, we didn't talk about this before, but some teachers are going to go to the math science conference, and I think Patty White is still collecting folks to go to that conference. So this is the next 3 weeks in September. Reminder, walkthroughs should be happening every 2 weeks. And then you would be doing this for domains 2 and 3 only. So I pulled up this particular one because it's just the first one on the list. And then I would click on here who I am watching, and then the start time. I can just click start now, and then what's the subject. And then when I'm finished, if I don't have to do anything, I just turn it off, and then the end time will automatically pop up. Oh, and I'll have to click what grade I'm watching. If you scroll down here, this is just a screenshot, so I can't scroll. But if you were to scroll here, you can get down to, I think they're like larger options like middle school, high school, something like that. So you would not worry about domain 1 and 4. You would just be domain 2 and 3. And whatever you see is whatever you see in those 10 minutes or so. If there are some things here that you don't see, then you just don't click. That's okay. No problem. Here are the rubrics. You just click on those so you can have an idea about which button you would want to click on. And if you feel the need to make some comments, those are always really good if you can make some comments. And then at the bottom, you would click on email the teacher, and then the teacher would get this. Please know this is an excellent chance to coach your teachers on their instruction. If you go in and you just click buttons and send the email, or just click buttons and never send the email but never follow up with the teacher, they're going to think that you're just watching over them. But if you follow up with them after the fact to talk about what you saw, and if nothing else, give them a chance to say, what did you like about it? What did you not like about it? What would you do differently? Just to get them talking about it, then they're going to feel a lot better about that time spent. If this is a new system to you, please give me a call or set up a time and we can get together and I can walk you through it on the video, and so it's super clear for you. But it's very important. Carrie has always been very serious about, ever since we got this whole thing started, one walkthrough every 2 weeks for each teacher. So if that's not happening yet, that should be happening this month for sure. The TABE test is coming. Luke and I are now working on some tech issues with it. Excuse me. But once we get this set up, then the counselors will be giving the test to your high school kids. Nothing for you to worry about except for the fact, just know that your counselors will be coming to you for it. Now, STEP. This is the biggest thing for today because this is coming up. STEP is is what we use for our school improvement plans. STEP is found on this website right here called industar.org, and I'll go through how to use that really quickly in just a few minutes. It is the online tool that we use to keep track of your school improvement plan. And the best part is, and this is good for every principal, is that using this will also count as your school-wide plan. So in the old days, before we started using this, sometimes principals had to do a plan of improvement in the fall, and then they had to do a school-wide plan of improvement for a different reason in the spring. As long as you use the STEP online tool, you don't have to do that. You can just do this the one time, and then you're done, and then you're good. It changed the way it's looked. They have listened to our complaints. This up in the top right-hand corner, this is what it used to look like. And a lot of the things are still there, but to me, it truly is easier to kind of go in and play in. And I'll show you in just a few minutes. This bottom left-hand corner, that's what it looks like now. And we'll look at that in just a second. Here in the bottom right-hand corner, just a quick note. These two schools must start with a needs assessment because 5 years ago, they were ID'd by the state as schools who need more support, and this has nothing to do with anything that's happened in the last 3 or 4 years, that we've just been stuck because of all the changes with the state testing, is that based on things that happened 5 years ago, these two schools get more support. That being the case, these two schools must start with this this needs assessment right here. It would be good for all schools to do it, but these two must do it, and I'll show you where that is in just a second also. And Larry and Charles, I am going to schedule a time that the three of us can sit down via video and look at that needs assessment over the next week, I think. Here are your passwords. I'm going to put this in an email also, so you have a copy of this. So you see that each school has their own individual login and their password. I assume that nobody wants to go into somebody else's and work on their school improvement plan, so I'm not worried about putting this out there. Something that you could do right away today when we finish here, because it won't take any time at all, or you can do it tomorrow during your Wednesday collaboration, or today during your Wednesday collaboration, depending on what day you watch this. You can log into Step using your username and password. You can update your school information and your school team information. And then on Wednesday, for sure, you should start checking out last year's Step plan just to see what you guys did last year or what the previous staff did or what they were focused on. And I'll show you how to get onto that. Okay, I'm going to stay there for a second, and I'm going to show you how to pull up Step. So I need to go to industar.org. So there's industar.org. And then I'm going to log in, and I'm going to log in using Patty White's school, Hughes. And I know their login is AKS 5444. And I know what their password is. So I'm going to log in here. And there's this video. And I'm not going to show the video right now, but the first time that you log in, I would suggest watching this video. You can see down here, it's 2 minutes and 39 seconds, but it does a nice job explaining what each one of these things are. So I'm not going to show it here, but it'll pop up when you log in the first time. So please watch that. Some things to note. I'm going to update Hughes's profile. So it's still Johnny Oldman School. The address is the same. I'm going to go backwards to make sure you guys saw where I did this. Update profile right here. All that is the same. Principal is still Patty White. If you're a new principal, this is where you put your name in and your email address on your school's site. Notice up here it says, "Welcome Johnny Oldman School." Yours, of course, will say your name, and the phone number would stay the same. Process manager, she put me on here. It doesn't have to be me. If you have someone at your site who can help you with this, that's even better. So the process manager helps the principal in preparing materials for team leadership meetings and entering teams' work in the system. So really, that would not be me most of the time. If you have someone at your school who can help you with that, then that's really good. So whatever changes have to be made there, then you would click here for Save School Information. Now I'm going to keep scrolling, and here's where I am going to have to make some changes for Hughes. I'm going to keep scrolling, and here are the team members. Now I know for sure that this teacher does not work here anymore, so I'm going to click on her name, and then I'm going to just remove team member. Done. Are you sure you want to remove this team member? I do. Remove, and now she's gone. I think Madeline is still a team member on this. I'm not positive, so I'm not going to mess with that in case Patty needs to kind of do it. I do know that we need to add one team member, so I'm going to add a team member, and her name is, oops, Judith Hope, and her last name is Bates, and she is a teacher. I'm not going to worry about phone number, but her email is jbates@ykasd.com. And then I save edits, and now she's added. Okay, so we have that, and now her team members are set. If I wanted to go in and do something with this, I could, but I'm not going to. And now her profile has been updated. If she wanted to, she can go in now and set direction, and these are some things that she can go in and then check out when she wants to. One of the things that we need to definitely make sure that we know how to do, and we can talk about more about this later, is this success cycle. This used to be the thing that looked like the triangle, but they put it here. See how it used to look like a triangle, but now they put it here. And if you want to click on a certain indicator, you just click on it, and then that's where you do the work. So it's much easier than last year, where you had to click all over the place. They have done it a little bit easier. I'm going to say, what if I wanted to look at one that's different? Same thing, click on it, and then I can make any adjustments that I need to make. One of the things that everyone will need to do is to look at last year's report to kind of compare that. If you're not sure where it is, come over here to our progress, go to reports, there's lots of options here, but the one that shows you the most information is the comprehensive report, and click on that. And then this shows you what last year's staff, whether it's you or whether it was somebody else, what they put in. If you want, so you can type into this. No, you can't. You can just see it. If you want a paper copy of it, you can just save it here, save it into Word, and then for me, on my computer, it pops up down here, and I can just pull it up like anytime I want. There it is. So if I wanted a paper copy, then I would just print this. If I don't need a paper copy, then I wouldn't worry about it. But at least I have it, and I can look at it anytime I want to. If you save it on a Word document and you type into it, that doesn't do any good on the STEP program. So don't save it on your computer and then type into it. Any changes in the STEP program have to be made in the program itself. All right, so don't download it and type into it. That could be a little confusing. I'm not sure why they make this a Word. They should make this a PDF, so you can't do that. Okay, so the only other thing I want to look at is if we go back to the main menu and I scroll down a little bit, there's some things that have to be done that I will help you with on some of them. On some you have to do on your own. So there are forms. I'm going to click on that, forms, that have to be completed. Here's the school needs assessment. That's the thing that ALCAC and CalTag have to do, and I will help with that. And that's what other schools do sometimes, and sometimes they don't. That's totally up to you. ALCAC and CalTag, if you want to take a look at it, you click on it, and then it'll download, and you can just pull it back up. But we'll work on it together. So I'm going to close that for now. The other things are school improvement plan assurances and school-wide plan assurances. Really what all that is, I'll pull it up so you can see what it looks like. I'll do this one instead. Is that all you're doing is promising that you're going to use this program. So I'll click on it. And now you don't have to do anything with this, because what's going to happen is I will print all these for you. This is last year's version. I will print all of these for you, and I'll fill them out, and I'll bring them to the principal conference in Anchorage next month. So you don't need to worry about it, but just know that those will be coming. There'll be a couple things that I'll ask you to sign while we are all there. And I think that's all I wanted to show you on that. Let me come back to my screenshot, to my PowerPoint. So I'm going to pull this back up. To do school-wide, these are the indicators that you have to do. Some of you have chosen to do a few extra indicators. That's perfectly fine. But if you're going to use the STEP plan as your school-wide plan, which all of us should do, I can't think of a reason why we wouldn't, because it cuts down on how much work we have to do. You have to use at least these indicators right here. If you do 1.3, that's fine. Or if you do 2.1, that's fine. But you have to do 1.1, 2.3, 3.2, etc. And here's what it lists. I will email this to you also, this list. So no, these are the ones that everyone must do. You can choose to do a few extras, but you don't need to. If you just do these right here, you're doing exactly what is needed of you. So here's what's coming up really quickly. Hopefully, maybe you could do this today or on Wednesday with your staff. Log in using your username and password, update the school information, update the school team information. Everyone will have to do something along here. Then also during those Wednesday collaboration meetings for STEP, you can use your map data to either complete your needs assessment or to figure out what direction you want to go. If you do a needs assessment, if you send it to me, I will upload it for you to the site. If you want to do it, go ahead, but that's just something else that you have to learn how to do. And if you email it to me, I'll do it for you. Also, you should, I don't like saying you need to, I'm sorry. It would be really good if you could dial into the STEP webinar that is appropriate for your time frame. And I'm going to show you that time, the options in a few minutes, but I'll also include that in the email. Then in September and October, meet with your teachers to use all this information to create the new adjustments for this year's STEP plan. In October, we'll all meet at the principal conference, and I will give you those 2 papers assigned that we just talked about, and then I'll submit those for you. And then October 30th is going to be our deadline to have this done. October 30th will be our deadline to have your STEP plan completed, and send an email to me to say, okay, I've done it, and it's on the STEP website. And I'll check it out, and I'll give final approval, and then we'll be all set. Last thing, the STEP webinars, there are 2 coming up. There's one next Wednesday on September 20th from 3 to 4. And there's one, I know that kind of interrupts some of what we're looking at already. And then also there's one on Tuesday, the 26th from 1 to 2. I'm not sure that there are videos of these, but I'll find out and I'll let you know. You would think that they would make a recording so we could pull them up if we wanted to, but I'll find that out for sure. I will email this information to you also. All right, that's all I have. Thanks for listening. This went longer than I anticipated, but I think it was important information, especially with the STEP program. We'll go deeper into the STEP to kind of help you guys. And if you have any questions, please feel free to call me. Otherwise, have a great rest of the week, and we will see you next time we see you. Thanks.